It's funny because I had actually been, well, earlier today, I didn't cheat and try doing any KOF trials, but I did, um, I did do some Blaze Blue combos today.
Oh, there we go.
Um,
All right.
and I was doing real bad, kind of hating it a little bit, but I was also like having that moment where it's kind of like, okay, it's like, you know, kind of going back to the drawing board
Mm-hmm.
and trying to understand a totally different games. And I'm like trying to understand a pretty different combos, or pretty complicated character.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that I really like. Uh, it's the she's kind of like makes me want to come back to Blaze Blue.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of harder than some of the other really complicated characters I've also played in the game. But anyways, I was like really trying to figure out the very specific ways in which she like works.
Mm-hmm.
And at a certain point, I was like, you know what? This is like fun. This is fun and interesting enough, and I'm gonna have to leave it here. I'm gonna have to like I have to put like the idea of me playing this character kind of on the table
Yeah.
and instead engage with like the idea of like kind of like learning this game of the combo.
Yeah.
Sometimes when those two things are in friction, that's the thing that I don't like.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
necessarily like just that. It's like if it feels we've talked about this before, but kind of like I like it when there's a place to get started and build rather than feeling like I have to dive into the very deep end
Yeah.
to get started, you know?
And that's kind of the curse of the experienced fighting game player, right? Is that once you have all these tools for learning a fighting game, you'll pick up a new game and part of you will want to apply those tools because you know it's optimal, right? You know you'll progress faster,
Yeah.
you know you'll learn
Totally.
less, like you'll learn quicker, but that comes at the cost of your own experience, right? You are also going to feel like it's more like work. You're not going to have the kind of naive fun that you had as a beginner, right?
Yeah.
And that means you might not want to play the game. That is part of how I feel about KOF, right? Like I know enough about KOF to know that if I wanted to get into this seriously, I can see what that work looks like because I've seen people go through it. I've seen enough high-end KOF to get a basic understanding of it. And it's, hey Nas, thanks for the raid. Hope the jam combos went well. But it is a challenge, right? Because it means that if you take this on, it's going to feel like work, right? If you do it at its most efficient. And so the trick can be in part to learn how to turn that off, right? To understand that maybe you will actually compromise your short-term gains, if you will, because you know that that's actually what's going to get you to play the game more in the long term, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, definitely.
I am down to try any of these characters, so I only have the trials complete for Kyo, Iori, and all but Kula's last one. Are there any characters that you're trying to do? Because we can also just pick whoever.
I guess that would be well, Kula. I'm curious about Shermie.
Okay.
What are the characters I'm most interested in? It's Kula, Shermie, Hydern, Leona, and then I think Athena and Mai. Maybe
Alright.
like King too.
Okay. I know
Let's probably
nothing
play.
about Hydern, so let's start with him.
I did actually watch. What does it say? Okay, no wait, this is tutorial. Where do I want to go?
Mission.
Mission. Yeah, let's start with Hydern. I was watching a video by somebody, Rupelmonger, who was talking about specifically about some of like the really weird shortcuts that they want you to do.
Yep.
With like buffering inputs into inputs. And Hydern was one of the first ones that was mentioned.
All right. Oh, because he's got charge inputs. Interesting. I just want to say right off the bat, look at this crouching B. Looks like it's so long, and then it looks like it's so good. And I am just stunned that this kind of thing is allowed to happen. Like, look at this.
Oh man, look at that.
I'm actually just kicking through. I'm scuffing his shoes. Antonov should be pissed as fuck about this, but he's not.
Yeah, that's like all the way. Like his boot is past the edge of his foot.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay, there we go. It's the hit. There.
Wow, and his.
All right. So right off the bat, they want us to do crouching B, crouching A, and then a flash kick, basically. So, oop, not fast enough. Oh no! Oh, I did a fierce. Excuse me. So.
Oh, that's fierce.
Fast.
Okay.
Oh. There we go. No! Again with the fierce input. I'm so not used to a 4-button fighter. There we go. All right. Combo number 1 feeling good?
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
Okay. So next we have standing C, forward kick.
I'm amazed at how fast that charge goes. Okay.
Yeah, I wonder how. I think charge is probably. I mean, so the thing about charge in games, right? It looks like this is just about 30 frames. Yeah. I think it's about 30 frames. And so yeah, if y'all don't see the input reader, I guess I have the input reader blocked a little bit on the stream, but you can see the number next to the input that tells you for how long you're holding that input. Anyway, so the next concept they're trying to tell you with trial number 2 is basically, and we'll just watch the demo to make sure we're doing the right version. So the demo is, all right, so it's a close 2 hits, and then you got it, all right. It's the fucking firecracker.
Oh, is that notation close punch?
I don't think that actually tells you whether it's close or far. Like the icon just says heavy punch, basically C, right?
Okay.
But which is why, like, sometimes you gotta watch the demo to actually see what it wants you to do, right? But the thing that they usually illustrate with the second combo in each trial is, hey, here's a normal that a command normal that you can cancel into, right? And that's like a very KOF thing. You'll usually go from a regular button to a command normal to a special to a super. So this is saying,
oh, I see.
2 hits on the punch. You can do 2 hits on the kick, and then a dragon punch cancel that dragon punch into a super.
Just a little bit. Okay, I think this was the one. Okay, this might be the thing that the person is talking about.
Wow, Hyden just hits you with the finger guns?
Yeah, this is hilarious. This move is really funny.
Interesting. All right. Let's see.
Okay,
I'm gonna take a look. I'm a little mystified that I'm not getting the cancel into the finger gun that I'm expecting. So let's take a look at this. If I do, why does this hit twice if it's a combo? I see. So this forward kick, forward B, is a 2 hitting normal, and something about the reaction on that first hit gives you. It's kind of like Heiken's what is it, 4H I think, or 5H. Sometimes, all right. So Danny's telling me sometimes command inputs are different if they are chained. That's hilarious. All right, so we got 2 hits on the heavy punch. Into the finger guns, and then finger gun into the quarter circle back, half circle forward super. Oh, try that again.
God. This looks insane. I'm not sure how we're supposed to do this.
What So, what are you getting stuck on right now?
Well, let's see. It's the special into super that that's
All right. So if that's the thing you're getting stuck on, one is, yeah, that is absolutely a thing to get stuck on this game, because timing this is one of the things that I found is kind of it can be pretty challenging for KOF games, I think. But the other thing is, let's see if we can just get that cancel down before trying to do the rest of the combo. And I'm having a hard time with it too. So the input on the super on its own should be quarter circle back, half circle forward, right? Yeah. So you can do the super on its own. Like, how's that?
Okay. Okay, that's not too bad.
And you're playing on hitbox, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing to know is you can basically do you can do this super by doing a quarter circle back and then a quarter circle forward.
Quarter circle back and then quarter. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can.
And you actually have some time in between the inputs, and you want that because I think you actually want to return to neutral a little bit on this. Whereas if you do it a little too fast, then you'll probably overlap an input. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Damn, that's still really tight.
Yeah. So the next thing, once we figure out the super input, we feel good about that, right? Then the next thing is to figure out, hey, where is the cancel timing in the super? And I believe there's a trick here. My understanding of how KOF inputs work is that if you hold down the attack button after doing the input, then it'll hold your input in the buffer for a while. Damn. Yeah, I'm having a hard time getting this canceled for sure.
So, okay, I did watch a video where somebody was talking about, I think they were talking about actually this specific combo.
Yeah.
And that there was something to do with doing some sort of buffer of like the half circle of the super input as part of the motion for the punch. Or for the finger guns. So it was like you did a weird way of like buffering the half circle but still doing like the SRK motion for the punch, and then doing it for the K. But you just did it anyway.
Yeah, so the next thing I want to check to see is because the thing I like to do with a combo is I like to chunk it down, right? So if I can get every single step individually, then I should be able to get them all together, right? But sometimes that doesn't work because the combo itself is set up in a way that some steps have to happen before other ones do. So the next thing I wanted to check was like, I think it might be the cancel might be a little bit range sensitive. Half circle back forward gets you the DP moves, then you follow up with a course. Interesting. I definitely don't get that DP off a half circle back forward. Oh, wrong direction.
Oh yeah, it does half circle back forward. So half circle back forward, and then quarter circle. Oh, keep on doing this.
Hey, thanks for the raid, homie. Appreciate it. We're just doing some combo trials. I hope Feliz Nueves went well.
Oh right. because then it's and then it's.
But yeah, so combos like these are puzzles that we're trying to solve, right? The game has given us something that tells us, hey, this works. We just need to figure out how to make it happen. And this one's a tricky one. We picked a hell of a character to get started. Okay, I think I see a little bit.
I'm getting the half circle back forward, but not the it is heavy kick.
So the way you might want to think about this is, oh, that's awesome, Light. Looking forward to seeing how that art works out. The dragon punch, the quarter circle back, and the quarter circle forward are just 3 distinct steps that you can do very quickly. Still hard as fuck though. Goddamn. Does it show you inputs when you do the demo? No, it doesn't. All right. Yeah. So the cancel itself is pretty early in the move, it looks like.
Yeah, you can get this weird half circle back forward. But then do I have to but then it's just a quarter circle forward? Half circle? Yeah,
All right. So
just
I think it. So if you're getting the kick, you're probably pressing it way too late.
Really? Okay.
All right. Wow, that whole buffer really is something. All right. I'm gonna see if I can do this consistently at all, and then I'll try and diagnose my inputs. Let's see this. Oh, all right, that was it. So that was did a dragon punch. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, okay. That input parser gives us nothing particularly useful here. I suspect there might be something where doing it off the command, off the full chain, actually makes it easier. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure out what that is.
Well, let me try doing that. I don't think it's gonna be too much harder. I'm just gonna recalibrate my whole brain.
So yeah, I just got it again off the full thing. I think the juggle actually might not work. Hey, what up, Ben? I think the juggle might not work unless you do the combo. And yeah, if you watch the demo, it's one hit on the forward kick.
Really?
Yeah. So you cancel the forward kick into the DP. Yeah, so you gotta be faster with the DP because you're trying to hit that first hit.
Yeah, I'm fucking up the DP up.
Yep.
I'm fucking the whole motion up. Because I'm doing this, trying to do the half circle back thing. There we go. There we go. Okay, so something like that.
Oh. Yeah. and then that into super.
And then into super. And that should be...
I don't know how much it matters, but the first hit, yeah, so it's 2 hits and then 1 hit off the forward kick, and then DP super.
2 hits. 2 hits?
So 2 hits, 1 hit super.
Yeah.
There you go, yeah. And basically, the way to think about it in a game like this is the time of the first attack, right? The time of the from when you start the input, right? Or when you not when you start the input. The time from the beginning of when you press the button on the first attack to when it hits is your time to input the next move, right? And then move 2, the time between when that starts and when that hits is your time to input the second one, and so on and so forth. And Sky, I think it could be 636, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's 6-3. Yeah, 636 works on DPs though. Speeds it up a little bit. This is trial number 2, Ben. Do I have a team for this game now? I'm probably not playing this game.
Well, I got the super, but not the uppercut.
You know, baby steps. We take those. I would say for now, don't even worry about the super. Just get those first 3 hits down. Right? Oh, I mean, hey, that works too.
I'm confused as to why that's happening. Okay.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, Ben. It tells you. It says you got to do the light punch one.
Am I not doing the light punch? Which one?
Let's see. I don't know if it. Let's see.
It might not be.
The strong one will hit. Will come out. It'll cancel, but it won't combo. So yeah, make sure you're doing the light one. There you go. All right. Better. I'm getting there. Yeah. So I guess the way you should think about this is when you're going into the forward kick, you can almost think of doing forward kick into DP as like one move, right? Because you don't have that much time to do it.
As soon as I start pressing buttons, like everything flies out of my head.
Yep.
It's
I get it. So actually, you know what might help? Try turning down your audio a little bit. I don't know. Can you hear my button presses?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not going to be synced up to what's happening on screen.
No, but just listen. So I'm going to do the heavy punch into the forward kick into the DP. All right. This is what it sounds like. Oops. Yeah, Ben, she's on Hitbox. So you can kind of hear that cadence, right? Like Do you remember watching the video of Frank Chen doing those combos last week? The absolute precision with which he hits everything, right? He knows that there's a specific timing this game wants, right? It is musical in that sense, and not in the jazz sense. It's in the like, no, there's a right way to play this song, and this game is about doing the right way, right? We're not gonna let you fuck around here. So, oh, okay. So you're trying the half circle thing, huh?
Yeah, I'm still trying to do that. It's like such a weird motion. It's not what the screen is telling me.
Yeah.
So
I also am not.
I'm
not able.
Like,
I don't
think about.
So I don't know what the fuck chat is talking about. I'm
that?
not able to get a DP off a half circle, or a half circle back forward.
I actually am. So I can do it in isolation, like this. I think that's...
Okay, yeah, I see.
I'm not sure if
you're doing it really quickly. Basically, I think if you don't go to neutral. Oh yeah, you can just hold forward on hitbox. Check it out. Hold forward on hitbox and then just tap down and left while holding right, and then press punch. You can try that.
Down and left while holding punch.
No.
Say that one.
Hold right, hold towards, right? Now you're gonna piano your other two fingers off down and left, and then press punch.
Oh. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So yeah, I can get a DP off a half circle back if I hold forward.
Interesting. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But you weren't even doing this trick.
No.
Though, and getting it. Were you just doing it? You were just doing it fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ben, we sipping on some Eagle Rare right now. It's a gift from Micah, actually.
So that was everything. It just wasn't the link between the super and this wasn't fast enough. Which is, I think, why you're supposed to use that input trick.
Yeah, now I'm trying the input trick alongside the super to see how that works. Oh yeah, it doesn't really save you time on the super cancel as much, I don't think. But yeah, actually, how's your Dragon Punch input on hitbox? Got it. Okay, so you got that just fine.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird because... Okay, there we go. This happens to me a lot when I'm like... I'm so focused, I'm like... The thing 2 steps ahead of me, that it's really hard to like... to get to the last one.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, I'm getting hella echo. It's like, Because I'll be like, okay, I'm messing up. I'm clearly messing up the like I'm not getting the DP because I'm either doing it way too early. So I'm like, okay, I gotta wait for it, like.
So doing what? Are you doing the whole DP way too early? Are you pressing the attack button way too early? Like,
fuck if I know.
Yeah, right. And that's what we're trying to tease out, right? Because like this is kind of my point. Like KOF teaches you there's a specific time to do every single fucking button, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's not necessarily that you're doing the DP input too early. It's actually kind of once you learn the tricks, it's like it's not. I won't say it's forgiving about the timing, but it does make allowances for timing, right? It's just that there's usually like pretty specific ways of how it wants you to do that combo. Whew.
That one was, yeah. It is almost like it wants a pause sometimes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh no, I almost had it.
But I don't think this can't possibly raw cancel just from the DP into the super, right?
You can cancel it. I don't think it lands necessarily.
Or it doesn't combo. Yeah.
Yeah. My guess is that like it's somewhat range sensitive. But yeah, I don't know because I don't think I've gotten the super to combo off just the DP, even when I get the cancel.
I should be doing that quarter circle back, quarter circle forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh, almost.
Ah.
Yeah, this is also just a finicky ass combo. Holy fuck.
Do you know what?
Like I'm getting the cancel. It'll actually. There's a timing window where it will give you the cancel, but it's too late to actually juggle. So you do need to do it like even quicker than you think you do on the super. But
oh yeah, definitely. It's like, yeah, I keep on like getting. I'm actually getting close. I'm like combining enough of the tricks that are working for me.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm getting. Oh my god. I don't know what makes this part consistent though. Cause like, look, that looks to me like a DP motion. What am I doing wrong to that like that sometimes the it won't do the
DP.
Cancel the forward kick into the DP.
Yeah.
That is weirdly inconsistent.
So near as I can tell, the game is kind of picky about whether you end a DP on down forward versus forward. So I don't know. Maybe not. I guess the other thing to keep in mind is one, are you holding the punch button when you do the DP?
No.
Try it. See if that helps a little bit.
Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Ah.
So my guess.
Cancel is going to be so hard though.
My impression is that if in KOF, if you press the button before you finished with the special move input, then the game says fuck you unless you held it.
Okay, I see.
If you hold it, then because so like the thing about like a Street Fighter style input system is that usually there's some leniency in like, oh, you press the button a little bit before you finish the special move input. Well, it's okay. We'll let you have the special move anyway, right?
I see.
In KOF, I think they're saying, fuck you unless you hold the button, in which case then we'll give you a couple extra frames.
Okay. Yeah, I think that is what's happening.
So yeah, if that's the case,
hard.
if that's the case, then my guess is you're pressing the punch button too early for the DP, and that's why you're actually not getting the DP.
Okay, I think that is probably likely. Oh my God.
Ben, I don't think so.
It's just like my motion is so fine and neutral.
Also, take a second, breathe, put the hitbox down, shake your hands out. You've just been trying something for like 20 minutes straight.
Oh man. Oh.
Deep breath. Yeah, shake it off, stretch. We playing sports, AV. It's super easy to tunnel over and over and over, and it just makes so many of your reps mush.
Yeah, this is what I was doing with the with that Blaze Blue combo earlier. Okay.
And the funny thing is, like, I know that in the moment it feels frustrating because you're trying to do a thing, you can't do the thing, you're basically just like, what the fuck? But this is actually valuable time, right? Like, these, getting used to how the buttons work, getting used to how the input reader works, getting used to these timings and shit is all things that you would have to do if you're playing against another human being, but you wouldn't be spending time specifically on it because you'd be focused on what the human being is doing, right? Like, this is actually been, so when I played fighting games, like when I started playing fighting games, I mean, they didn't ship with combo trials at first, and when they had them for Street Fighter 4 and when they started coming in they included them in multiple games after that, I didn't really do them for anyone other than the characters that I was interested in playing, and usually I'd figure out like a main or a team pretty quick and just do theirs, right? Because I was like, why bother learning execution for characters that I'm not going to play? And it was Ben in chat who I saw, this is the first time I saw someone do combo trials for games that he didn't really give a fuck about just to do them. I was like, whoa, I don't understand that at all. But it's actually, it's really, really good for your execution and for like, it's just a good thing to do for fighting games. Because it forces you to sit down and actually ask yourself, what the fuck does this game want from me? You know?
Yeah. No, it's totally true. Like, I definitely feel that with, so I've been trying to play this character, Mu 12 in Blaze Blue.
Yeah.
And some of her combos are like I love her neutral and her game plan. She's kind of like a set playish zoner sort of character. Kokanoe kind of like does a lot of things that she does, and Kokanoe's got some really finicky combos that were really fun to learn.
Yeah.
Mu's a little bit more frustrating because she's got this. She can set these like drones that shoot lasers, but she can cancel her normals into them and out of them.
Okay.
So you are weaving a bunch of those inputs into your like normal combo, and you want to do that because you want to set up the drones so that you can do your like set play and zoning.
Yeah.
But also because the lasers that they fire end up doing like help you complete the combo. But like that sort of weaving is like a really, really interesting and unique. It's like both Blaze Blue's finickiness, and like Blaze Blue wants you to dash cancel everything as much as possible. It's obsessed with dash cancels. And then it wants you to do her like very, very unique thing at the same time. And it is really interesting. You're just kind of having to deal with this like very character specific foible at the same time. As the system. But I can kind of like see even from what we're doing, I can kind of see like what KOF is about just from these combo trials, you know?
Yeah.
Like the way that Street Fighter is like, we want you to do these like really tight links into other links, and like KOF is like, we're not into that. We actually have this like kind of like special cancel system that's a little bit like an anime game.
Yeah.
But with like very, very like, we want you to do all of these like weird motions, but we want the motions to be like super precise instead.
Yeah.
Of like link timing.
The interesting thing to me about this the super cancel, the special cancel into super and then super cancel into like climax or whatever it is that normally when I think about super cancels in like versus games, in Third Strike, right, in Capcom games like Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, etc., super cancels are always the easy part in general, right? Like, you got links, and links are the hard part of the combo, and then the super cancel is like, oh, you did a fireball, and then you do another fireball input to get the super fireball after the regular fireball, and it's like the amount of value you get, right, compared to the difficulty of that cancel is like very high, right? The super cancel is the reward. In this, the super cancel is hard as shit.
Right, yeah.
And it's intended to be like, this is the escalation of the combo, right? What we're asking you to do. I'm sure this game, I don't know if it has like links in it or whatever, like how much KOF is links. It doesn't seem like most of the combos that I've seen have them. But instead of links, it's, oh, you want to earn this big damage fucking super cancel? Well, get ready to learn the exact right timing to do this, right? And this is how you unlock power in this game. All right, we starting to get consistent with the DP. Oh.
Hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
Oh. It's like I get the DP and then I lose it.
Super relatable.
Oh my god.
Andre says there is a long cut. For 6-2-3 into this. So, all right. So Andres is saying 6-3-2-1-4-3.
Oh. It's otherwise very hard. The long cut is 6-2.
Or 6-3-2-1-4-3. Wait. All right. So half circle back, down forward punch. Ah. And then half circle forward. Kick. Got it. Okay. Ah, yeah, I see that. Down. So what this actually reminds me of is like when you do cancel like a crouch medium kick into a super in Super Turbo, you have like no time to fucking do it. And so the way you do it is you do core circle forward, down, and medium kick, then finish the core circle forward from down and press punch to get the super. So you're basically starting the super input before the button from the first special move even goes in. So
oh, wow.
What
okay.
Andres is saying is you can do this chunk by doing half circle back, down forward punch, right? And that gets you the DP. So you do half circle back, down forward punch, and then half circle forward kick. And basically what this does, like the reason it works is you have more time to do the first cancel than you do the second cancel. So what you're doing is you're kind of trying to rearrange your inputs a little bit so that like the reason the long cut works is that you're kind of like preloading some of the inputs for the second cancel in the time you have to do the first cancel.
Okay. So half circle back, down, forward. And then how do I finish it off? Quarter circle forward.
All right, so first, do you have the half circle back and then down and punch?
Let's see.
Or down forward, sorry.
Well.
Because that's the first thing we want to get you.
Ooh, okay.
And like on hitbox, what you're doing is you're pianoing your three fingers right to left, right? And then you're tapping down and forward with the same two fingers at the same time. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, it does.
Like you don't want to think about it in terms of directions. You just want to think about it in terms of button presses, because that's all you're doing.
Yeah. Weirdly, okay. I don't know why. So it's working when I do half circle back forward, but not when I do half circle back down forward. I'm not sure why.
Also, I don't know if it matters,
but I did get it a couple of times though.
Okay. Let's see if we can get you solid on the down forward. I don't know if it matters, but it's worth it. It might be worth it to be consistent. Okay. So Andre says don't think too much about the downs. If you don't have it, that's probably fine then. Okay. So the next thing is if you once you press the button, right? You know that Hydern's going to be doing some shit, right? So the time in between when you press punch and when you press kick, you want to sneak a half circle forward in there. What I'm doing is I'm actually holding down punch to make sure I get the DP and not letting go and just going right into the super follow up with the kick.
Okay. And then what motion am I doing for the super kick?
You're just doing a half circle forward and kick.
And then a half circle forward.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, this needs to be in there. The cancel needs to happen, like, as soon as the DP comes, like, hits. It's like frame 1. Yeah, and you hold the kick.
Okay. Yeah, I think I see what you're saying. It's also so fast.
Yeah. You have to do it really fast. Here, it might help to listen to my buttons again. Hey, what up, Dimitri? I'm gonna do it again. Oops.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And like, do you have my screen on? Might be. I don't know how much information you can get from that, I guess, but.
Yeah, it's a little hard because of the delay.
Yeah.
But I can hear.
It's a lot of fucking buttons going very quickly. I'm basically drumming my fingers twice. Also, just as a heads up, I think we could easily spend the rest of the stream working on this one, and that would be fine. But if you want to move on to something else, I'm happy to.
Yeah, we could try something else. I hate to give up, but I don't think I'm gonna be doing this one tonight. Like, I kind of want to keep on working on it, but I think I'm gonna do worse than worse.
Yeah. No,
and people are being really, really helpful, but like my execution's gonna fall off more and more.
Yeah, I think Hydern is probably also like, I don't know. I've tried a couple characters, and none of them had me work this hard on the second trial, so we can move on. And again, just to reiterate for everyone watching, that was not a waste of time, right? Like, as long as you're practicing shit, the game doesn't give us any feedback to make us feel better about spending that time, right? But the reality is, as long as you're trying to do something, as long as you're pressing buttons, you're refining your ability to use your controller in a fighting game, right? Like, I cannot tell you how important it is to fuck up in training mode, right? In a very real-ass way, almost everyone's ability with fighting games correlates directly to how much time they spend playing the game. Not how many combos they hit in training mode. Not how many hard links they did. It's just how much time do you spend playing the game, even if you're failing the trials. So, with that, let's try another mission. Who do you want to try playing? Let's see if there's someone who will fuck us up even worse than Hyder.
Yeah, let's see. Well, I mean, Leona sounds like she's more of the same. So not Leona.
Let's avoid maybe let's avoid the weird paramilitary bros. I don't know. Maybe the Akari warriors are cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I could do some weird grappler combo. Like, I was interested in Kula.
All right, let's do Kula.
Yeah, let's do a little bit Kula.
Yeah, she's fun. And so the thing about her trials is they all use basically the same route. Yeah, Owen, don't do that shit. All right. So the first one, they just say, hey, do a heavy punch, which is 2 hits, into a fireball or an ice breath. They don't actually tell you, but it's close heavy, yeah. If you watch the trial, maybe this is a better lesson. Always watch the demo if it doesn't make sense to you. Shrieks, if you don't have combos and you're playing BlazBlue, then being right doesn't matter. Like, you need a certain amount of combos to have any damage worth a shit.
Oh yeah, take it from the girl who is doing BBCF combos for Mu 12.
Yeah.
In the middle of the day, neutral does not exist in that game unless you have combos.
Yeah.
Because most characters need to get particular knockdowns, you need to get particular setups, and you need corner carry. Mm-hmm. Especially in BlazBlue. Like, BlazBlue probably more than almost any other game other than Guilty Gear. Maybe even more so than Guilty Gear, though. Because BlazBlue has a million... Like, in Guilty Gear, you can learn, like, a 4-button combo into knockdown with a lot of characters.
Yeah.
And actually get started. BlazBlue wants you to do, like, really complex...
Yeah, if you don't have, if your combos are not at least this tall, then you're playing a different game, and anyone who has combos will just fuck you up, right?
Yeah.
Shrieks, you also have to play the rest of the game. You can't just do combos.
Yeah, you should go out there and get bodied, but like, you know, I've actually I'm taking for this one because I got a bunch of people into multi-blood type Lumina recently.
Yeah.
And in multi-blood type Lumina, actually, you have like a lot of, you could just like pick up and play that game pretty easily. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people have been like, man, like I'm doing these combos, and then I drop them the first thing when I get to a real match. But if you still know the combos, and you're still building that muscle memory, and by the time that like you can you can get to the point where you're gonna do those combos perfectly, and then like you hit a real match, and then you can't do them at all, and you're still progressing.
Yeah,
like it's not gonna like
if you
don't do that, you'll never get them in a real match.
Yeah, no one cares if you know the combo. In a very literal sense, anyone can know combos just by opening up a fucking FAQ, right? It's not enough to know the combo. You have to have the combo. You do not have the combo until you can do it in a real match confidently against another person, right? In order to do it against a real match confidently against another person, there's a long time where you are unconfidently doing it against another person, right? It's not like you get to 150% in training mode and then immediately you can do it against other human beings, right? In the vast majority of cases, you're going to learn it in training mode. It's going to take a while before you can get it when it's the only thing that you're focusing on. And then once you can do it consistently when it's the only thing that you're focusing on, well, then the next level of escalation is to do it when you have to focus on a human being, right? And if you want an intermediary step, you can turn the training mode AI up to play a CPU, and so you have a little bit of distraction, and so on and so on and so on, right? But yeah, Shrieks, just trust that your time spent playing the game will get you better at the game. As long as you're doing a little bit of everything, you'll be fine. All right, so we got that first one okay. Let's see. Cool. You're on the second one?
Yeah, the second one, oh, it also has a little trick. Because not only does it start off the close hit, if you do the two, you have to cancel it after the first hit.
Of the heavy punch, yeah, okay. So the thing is,
game was
this this combo route is then used, like they build off of this for every single combo trial afterwards. So we got heavy punch, one hit into forward light punch, cancel that, and then hold fierce punch for the uppercut. Don't let go of the button. Got it.
Okay, and then forward.
Boom. Yeah, so I guess one is wow. One is just make sure you're getting the right follow-up, right? On that kind of two-piece hurricane kick. So the one you want is a sweep.
Oh, okay. That explains why it was.
Did you watch the combo demo already?
Yeah, I did actually.
Alright. Yeah, 6D.
I just still trying to parse the difference between their icons, which
got it, yeah. So it's heavy punch, light punch, heavy kick, heavy punch.
Still pressing
Ready? Yeah. The hold trick, so when I was doing these trials before, I did not know the hold trick, and these were a lot harder. Because the timing feels super finicky. Alright. So you got these forward punches, though? I want to see the forward punch in there. Forward light punch. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's I kind of know, and then I don't do because I'm still...
Yeah, I get it.
It's so weird because it's well, I mean, it's muscle memory. It's not necessarily your brain working. So there's this moment where it's oh, I'm not what my fingers are processing and what my brain is processing different.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So just let's just get those four. Yep. Yeah, just get those four real consistent, and then we'll break it down into the latter half. Yeah, and I found holding the button for both of the last two steps, the 6D and then the Dragon Punch, to be really helpful.
Okay.
Because you can actually do the 6D follow-up while she's still in the startup of the core circle back kick, the Tatsu. Like, just try that.
What?
Yeah. So do core circle back kick and hold, and then press forward kick, like press and hold forward kick while you're still holding the light kick. Basically, you can do 214 K, hold the K, and while you're holding the K, you can press 6D, right? Sorry, 214 B, I guess. Sorry. You see that?
It weirdly... Okay. Okay, there it worked. Okay, I see. And then sometimes it doesn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I wasn't pressing forward. Okay. Why does it not work sometimes?
Why does it do
There we
this?
go. Yeah, do you see that? Like, why? Okay, maybe I'm pressing the forward. Okay.
There you go.
It's like, yeah, I'm like doing it. I will do it like really consistently, and then that happens. It's like I can almost feel like there's a difference, but I can't quite.
All right, I'm watching your input displays right now. Yeah, you know what it was? I think you did it. So there's like a maximum length to this buffer, and I think if you do it too fast before it hits, then it doesn't come out.
I think I am doing it too. But I can feel the difference. Like that's kind of like what you've been talking about this whole time. It's like feeling the understanding of like what the game wants from you and what it's telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there is a rhythm there that I can feel.
Yeah.
Like I can feel the pause that it wants, like how generous the input the buffer actually is.
Yeah. So Gutter Daughter also brings up something worth pointing out, which is like the time spent in hit stop is counted against the buffer. So if you try it while you're whiffing the first hit, the input actually the timing works different than if the first hit connects.
I see.
But yeah, so you're getting the Tatsu into the follow up. Okay, now try and just do Tatsu into follow up, and then do the Dragon Punch with Heavy Punch, right? And it's the same idea. You can start it super early and just hold the punch button, right? There's after the forward kick follow up hits, right? There's actually a good amount of time before you're allowed to cancel, but you can start the input then and press the button and just hold it, and it'll come out pretty reliably. So don't do the full thing. Just do Tatsu,
Okay.
Tatsu, low
just
kick,
gonna do
Dragon
it.
Punch.
Okay.
Oh,
I keep on doing that.
yeah, you're a little too much. Also, I think you're pressing the wrong button. Yeah. It's Dragon
yeah,
Punch
yeah.
with Heavy Punch. Oh. This is super. We'll get there. So hold the Heavy Punch button. That was better, yeah. And so I want you to start the Dragon Punch input. Let's see.
Okay.
So I want you to start the Dragon Punch input actually a little late.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, that's way easier later. Okay. I think I was doing it way too. I think this is like not as hard as.
Yeah, the important thing to keep in mind is that basically the timing on the sweep into the DP is like a little late. And you just want to hold the DP to make it easier to hit.
Yeah, the holding makes a huge difference.
Yeah. All right, try and do the whole thing now.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Okay. Oh, almost.
Okay.
I think you mashed the DP, and that's why.
Yeah, I mashed it really hard. Because I was nervous. Okay.
All right. Yeah, remember, you want that one hit on the fierce, on the heavy punch. Just one hit, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm just getting my bearings again.
Okay.
Because you saw me doing this, and this is not the right button for the Tatsu.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, you need that light punch in there. There you oh. I see. You're starting the core circle forward too early. Because you're leaving out the forward punch. Right? Just do there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it takes me like time to just like remember what each button is.
Yep.
Like
absolutely.
It's like like I feel like this must be like agonizing to watch because it's like so slow. I'm like doing it over and over and over again, and like getting very obvious parts of it wrong because I'm like really just trying to like. Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny, right? The process of learning a combo is you learn a bunch of individual chunks, you combo them, or you mash them all together so they become kind of like, maybe not one big chunk in most cases, but like a couple set phrases, right? And then you end up in order to actually do it effectively, a lot of times you return them back to individual chunks. And that's how you clean up the execution.
Right, yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway, take your time.
Yeah, I'm getting back to the Tatsu follow-up being hard. When it wasn't actually before.
Yep.
Maybe because of that buffer timing.
Well, you can always go back to just practicing that, right? Or try just doing forward punch into the hurricane kick.
Yeah, I'm just like worried that the hurricane kick stuff is like I can't tell if this is what Gutter Daughter was saying, but maybe.
Oh, actually, no. I wouldn't do it off. You can't do it off just the command normal because it has different properties when you combo into it.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So yeah, you just have to do the whole thing eventually.
Yeah. Which is not bad. Okay, so it's bop, bop, bop. But I'm a little confused as to why.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, it really... It sure doesn't like it. It sure lets you combo the Tatsu, but it doesn't let you combo it. Or like, lets you do the Tatsu follow-up like super late. And it sure is fuck you to try to do it. Okay. Yeah, it's like... Oh, okay. So if you're like holding down, if you hold down, like that's forward. Like if you hold anything else other than forward, it will not give you the Patsu follow-up.
Yeah, because
So,
I think there are other
that's
follow-ups,
one thing.
right?
There we go. No, they only use forward. That's
Okay.
definitely like an execution.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's there we go.
Looking good. Oh shit! Oh, almost.
Okay. And then DP with heavy. Okay. Okay.
Hey. Oh shit! Wow, it didn't give it to you, and you overachieved. That's ridiculous.
Alright.
It's okay. You did it once. You can do it again.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I think you're doing the forward kick too heavy or too early. Delay it like a little bit.
The forward kick?
The kick follow up. Yeah.
I think I'm actually.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. I was also pressing wrong.
Yeah. I see you doing down forward sometimes.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah. Oh, almost.
It's because I'm mashing. I'm
Yeah, you're mashing the DP.
And it really wants it to be clean.
Yeah. Almost.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Oh. Oh my god, my shoulder's gonna be so fucked up tomorrow.
Sorry, yeah, make sure to stretch.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Heavy punch.
Ooh! You just gotta remember to hold that punch button.
Yeah. Oh, please don't get to the throw.
Ooh, almost.
It's like, and I can tell why I'm not holding the down forward. It's because I'm trying to push myself into the DP as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and you actually have some time to do the DP.
Yeah, I think I do have more time.
You have like a lot of time.
Okay.
Like, you can just go back to doing Hurricane Kick into follow-up into DP if you want to check how much time you have. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And remember to hold that punch button. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yo, let's go.
Oh my god.
All right. On to the next one.
Oh my god, that's definitely it for today.
Okay. You don't want to just take a look at the next one?
Well, I'll take a look at the next one, but I fear for my limbs.
All right.
Ah.
So this is Heavy Punch, EX Ice Breath into Core Circle Back Kick, Core Circle Back Heavy Kick, and then EX DP. I think this is actually pretty doable.
Okay, that doesn't look terrible.
Yeah, this is just a matter of stringing some stuff together.
Yeah, this is okay.
Yeah, so let's start with that's an EX close heavy punch into EX. You might want to check and see if they want one hit or two on the heavy punch, but I think just let's see. Yeah, let's do demo play. Always look at what you're getting yourself into. All right, so they let it rock on two, hit, boom. And with the hold trick, this is actually pretty easy.
Okay.
Famous last words.
Bum. Yeah, as good as it.
Yeah, so you get a lot of time because it's a crumple, right?
Okay.
And this is a heavy kick on the it's a D on the quarter circle back kick.
Heavy kick.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh my god, I'm doing the other combo.
So actually, one thing that I find helps me out, almost, is to get used to the buttons you're pressing. Like, figure out what your left hand inputs and your right hand inputs are before trying to put them together.
That's interesting.
So like,
just
just do heavy punch, then two punches, then heavy kick, then two punches. Right? You don't want your hands to get lost in where they're going, right? So you just, the cadence doesn't matter because you don't know that yet.
I see what you're saying.
But you want to know what your right hand is supposed to be doing. I assume that if you're playing piano, and Irene, feel free to correct me on this one, but I assume that if you're doing a thing that involves two hands, it's easier to learn each hand both individually and then put them together. Irene said yes. I'm so smart. So yeah, get your inputs right on both sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So that was like the thing. That was the thing that I was noticing with the previous trial. Like, you know, I feel like I'm not trying to give myself too much credit or anything like that.
Hell no, feel yourself.
Well, there are a lot of times when it was like, oh, I'm clearly doing like super wrong things. And I think I might be like hitting the right the wrong button at the right time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like not thinking about like, you know, you putting it like that made me think about something that I was realizing towards the end of the combo, which was like the rhythm of like I press the heavy punch, then the light punch, then the light kick, then then the heavy punch again.
Yeah.
Like, part was actually really hard to remember which the button was associated with which move.
Right. Oh, almost. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, see, classic case.
There you go. Why didn't it give it to you? Oh, because you didn't EX that last one.
Oh. Okay.
Ooh, almost.
Again, I pressed punch and kick that time.
Yeah.
Did 2 punches. Which is a move that would have made sense if I was playing multiplayer. In my opinion.
Donk.
Well, I don't know what the fuck that was.
Ooh, almost.
I don't know what
Yeah,
that
you
was.
did the heavy punch, heavy kick thing again. Which is funny because
Oh.
you'll use that later. That is actually an input in KOF. It's used for the like climax supers or whatever.
Oh my god, yeah, I keep on, because that would be, and my layout, that's BC.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the super button for. Oh my god. Okay. I'm just, like, seeing an EX move, and I'm like,
Ooh, almost. Maybe just try that last half. See if that works. If you can practice that on your own. Or on its own. Oh! Yeah, you're doing the punch and kick thing still.
yeah. Okay, let's.
There you go. By Jove, I think she's got it.
Okay.
Yup.
Oh!
Ba-bum. All right, you want to see what the next one looks like?
Alright, let's see what. Let's take a look. Oh my god. Well,
So,
it's been wonderful seeing you this evening, Pat.
so if you watch the demo, we'll just watch the demo. You don't have to take a shot at it.
Yeah,
But it's mostly building off of things we've already done. So the main thing is just it has you do a combo into max mode activation, which is basically like a Roman cancel. And then you do the combo we were just doing, right? Except then you put 2 supers on it.
I see.
So you can
Yeah.
you can look at this and go, like, if you just play the demo again,
Yeah.
it's like, thank you, Sky. So this is just, it's a new starter, but it's a confirm, right? And then you do the combo we're used to, but then you do the super cancel. And the super cancel into the Ultimax cancel, or whatever it's called. Hey, Source, thanks for the 20 months, homie. KOF going good. We're just learning some combo trials. So yeah, if you want to take a shot, I'm here for you. If you want to call it there, totally cool.
I think I am definitely gonna call it here.
Yeah, we're gonna end on those dubs. Also, a good thing to do, right? Like, think about. So I'm gonna go ahead and quit out of the game real quick. And AV, thank you for being an excellent fucking test dummy on this shit, because I know that there are lots of people out there who I mean, you know, the combo trials are like usually often piss people off. This is often where people feel stupid, right? They feel dumb. And you had the goddamn gumption to be okay with showing up on the stream where I would then show people, I would have people watch you doing the combo trial. So good shit. You did great.
Yeah. Human sacrifice. Nah,
Yeah.
it was fun. And it's a cool thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I honestly had a good time. Only got a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, but you can imagine. I don't know how you would be if you were doing those combos on your own, right? I don't know how if you've tried them already, or like you described. It sounded like the Blaze Blue stuff was kind of frustrating. Doing combos on your own fucking sucks, especially if you're not good at doing combos, right? Like because you have to figure it all out on your own, right? This is exactly the kind of thing that is actually really good to do with people who know more about a game than you do, because they can just tell you, hey, this is what the fuck you're supposed to be doing, right? The experience that we had doing these combos is probably like, look, we spent the whole time doing maybe 4 combos, right? And if you tackled that on your own, you probably wouldn't feel great about it, right? You'd be like, oh man, I only did 4 combos. But you got me here, and I'm like, one, I am confirming that this shit is indeed hard, right? Like, that Hydran combos, that shit was fucking bullshit. If it wasn't for chat, we wouldn't have figured out most of that stuff ourselves, right? Like, so one is like having other people around helps you feel better about it, right? And then ending on a win, it's like you get to remember this session pretty fondly, right? Like, you're gonna go through the rest of your evening. I don't know what you do after our streams, right? But you'll get to feel like, yeah, I did something in the game. You know, wasn't that big, wasn't that spectacular, but I did something, and the taste that this game leaves in your mouth is gonna be a good one. Right? It's why people like ending on a win when they're playing shit like League or Overwatch or whatever, right? It's because if you end on good vibes, then you remember the session well. If you end on bad vibes, you'll probably remember that session less fondly. That makes you that chips at your motivation, right? It makes it harder to come back and play this game again. But yeah, I had fun doing that too. Thanks, Avi. Fuck, it was dope to watch you learn this shit, and I'll be interested to see if you try and pick this up tomorrow. Like, there's gonna be some stuff that just clicks in a way that it doesn't feel like it clicked before today, because your brain kind of did the work, right? You slept on it, basically.
Yeah, which is something that I've noticed many times. Like, there's that person in chat who is kind of like expressing some frustrations with Blaze Blue combos, and I'll say that Blaze Blue is pretty bullshit. Like, I feel like its curve especially is one of the more bullshit curves. For what it expects you to be doing right off the bat. Yeah. And there are definitely some like easier characters who you might like enjoy going in and having fun. But I'll say that I've also noticed, like, you know, I found Akia really, really frustrating at first. Yeah. But now I find her really easy, and all of Melty Blood feels very, very easy to me. And I really enjoy that character, and that's a character that, like, you know, even though I complain about her all the time and her stupid mashups, and she can't play neutral, and I have no tools, or whatever. She's still the only character that I've really like continued to like enjoy stick with playing, and part of that is like, you know, there's a little bit of that sunk cost thing too, right? You know, that's like kind of like why it's a reason why you stick with a particular game too. You know, we were just talking about it at the beginning of the session, right? Like, if you want to play King of Fighters 15, you have to learn to like and learn to understand its combo theory and everything about what it's asking you to do. Like, not just, you know, not just like what neutral is like, not just what like basic gameplay is like, but like how it wants you to press buttons. Yeah. And the feeling of how that pressing buttons is. That's a huge amount of stuff to learn. It actually kind of reminds me of, so it's funny because I talk mostly, when I talk about my martial arts experience, I talk mostly about the time I spent doing like kind of direct, you know, combat sports in the like mixed martial arts sense, right? Wrestling, judo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, all that stuff. But I actually started out in karate. I did Shotokan karate for a year in college because that was it was a PE class, it was available, and I was like, yo, Ryu and Ken do that. I'm gonna see if I can chuck fireballs or something, right? It wasn't until I started doing I started doing jiu-jitsu because one day the black belt who taught the class was like, damn, I just got my ass kicked at this jiu-jitsu class. It's like, all right, I'm gonna pick a top tier piece. But this is like doing kata. When you're doing forms in like traditional Asian martial arts, right? Like karate, like kung fu, whatever. Kata are literally combos, right? You're literally doing a series of attacks in a row, right? And in attacks, it includes parries, footwork, all kinds of things, right? And the idea is that they represent not just like a sequence of moves against a set of imaginary opponents. They're also supposed to teach concepts about how these different moves that you're learning can relate to each other, right? You're learning strings that include offense and defense.
And the thing is that when like, so there are kata that you learn, and you learn them as teaching tools, right? The idea is that this is kind of like the digested version of what the martial art looks like, right? And so you can learn them in order to get an idea of how the moves kind of flow into each other and how you should think about these moves together, right? Because it's really the moves in combination that kind of start to build this understanding of how a martial art is supposed to work, and what it feels like. But you can choose to like specialize in sparring, for example, or you can just compete in kata, right? Like traditional, especially like Japanese martial arts have kata competitions for karate and for judo, for sword fighting arts, all kinds of stuff. And it's about like executing all the techniques in ways that like represent the art at its strongest, right? And every practitioner might actually have a certain amount of variability in how they do that, how they execute the moves when it comes to the timing, when it comes to the transition, stuff like that, right? This is basically what we're learning right now, right? It's just that when you do kata, no matter what you do, the move comes out, unless you like super hard fail, right? It's just that maybe it doesn't come out with the right oomph for the right timing or the right snap. Maybe the transition from one move to another was like sloppy or not as precise, not as well timed, not as coordinated, right? Like often when you perform a kata, you hear this really satisfying snap of the gi flaps, like kind of hitting, maybe it's your sleeves hitting your arm or something as you kind of pop this punch that's super explosive, or you hear the gi kind of flapping into yourself because you rotated your hips in doing like the Makoto reverse punch and shit. And so no matter what the move comes out, right? It's just that when you're learning a kata, you'll have a teacher who grades you based on your performance, right? In KOF, the move doesn't come out if you fuck it up. The only way to do it is basically the right way, you know? Sorry, that was a little bit of a rant, but it was a cool connection that I had never made before, right?
Yeah, no. I totally think about that. I used to do judo when I was a child and boxing when I was an adult. So I feel that kind of like, or gymnastics when I was a very little child. And, you know, yeah, you're doing like a performance. Like you're trying to, it's a performance, but you're like doing the most optimal, you know, correct way of doing all of those motions.
How did I not know that you did judo as a child? How long did you do it for?
Oh, maybe like a couple of years.
Damn, that's awesome.
It was fun.
I knew I liked
really
you for a
judo.
reason, Avi.
I remember having like, I remember getting bodied. Probably my fondest judo memory is getting bodied by someone who they were a real adult. So it probably wasn't too surprising that they were beating my ass. However, I was really frustrated. I was getting like, however, so he would like get in the ring and he would just toss me on the ground and I would lose. Yeah. But there was a move that we had learned, I think like that either the week before, like pretty recently, where you fall on your back and then like kick them off of you, basically. Like you use your foot to like fling them off.
It's the Ryu and Ken back throw in Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, that's exactly
Tomoe, right? Yeah.
So, you know, he went to like, you know, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do like, you know, I'm just gonna do the thing that I normally do. Sorry about that." And he was not ready for me to do that, and I beat him that one time. It was the equivalent, I guess, of like, you know, just doing a wild DP. You know, it was like or like doing like a bike and parrying wake up, because it was a round start parry. That's exactly what it was. It was a round start parry. Because I couldn't beat him in strength, but that like felt like, so that's my first fighting game moment there, is being like, I don't really have the tools to actually beat you in a real way, but I can steal one win off of you doing some wild shit that you're not expecting.
Irene says it's the jam of martial arts.
Sometimes you just get a win.
Yeah, but you know, you have to represent something like Tomoe in order to have the rest of your stuff work, right? Like just like if you don't represent with the wake up DP or the wake up super, then they're gonna think they can get away with Oki for free, and fuck that, right? You got Dragon Punch for a reason.
Exactly.
So yeah, hit your rotations, y'all. Anyway, I don't know if you want to run this back again next week. I know there's all kinds of other stuff we could play, but I definitely had a lot of fun doing this with you. And chat, thank you so much for the help. I don't know shit about KOF. I'm learning too, so this was really instructional for me. Those Kula combos, like I kept on when I was doing them, I would hit the trial. And then I kind of just move on to the next one. But I knew that I didn't actually have the timing for the Tatsu into the low kick into the follow-up DP. The whole trick did so much to make that more consistent and a lot easier. It helped me understand a lot more about how this game works. And it's really interesting. Like, I wouldn't say I like the decisions they make around how the input interpreter works, but I respect that they have like a defined aesthetic, a defined cadence, right? I think earlier, Sky described it as classical music, right? I don't know how rigid classical music is and its expectations of how it is to be played, but
depends on the time it was made.
Irene says it depends on the time that it was made. But having like this game has a set of distinctly wrong and right inputs that it wants from you, and then a little bit of flex in terms of how they let you input the specials and the cancels into super and stuff like that, which I think is a pretty cool decision, right? Like when it comes down to it, the way combo systems work, the texture of the inputs that you're pressing, right? Like you hang around in fighting games long enough, and when you're walking down the hotel the hotel hallway after Evo or late night in Combo Breaker, when you hear the mashing coming from the different rooms and as you're walking down the hotel hallway, you'll be able to recognize what game they're playing by the sound of the buttons that you're hitting. You can always hear Marvel. Marvel is always super distinct because there's a lot of inputs, there's a lot of yelling, but also because you have to mash supers. Right. And so if you know what a Marvel Super Mash sounds like, you can hear it from across the fucking hotel. Anyway, KOF has a really interesting cadence to it. It has a really interesting texture that I actually didn't quite understand until I was watching those Frank Chen videos. And I was like, oh, this is why it looks the way it does. But I didn't understand how it worked until today. And I wouldn't have done that without y'all in chat and you, AV. So thank you.
Yeah, it's really distinct. And I like that. Like, I think it's so important what you were just saying about it being, it's a decision. You know, like even if we don't like necessarily love it, like I don't. I was just talking shit on BlazBlue, and I'll talk even more shit about it. But I think that it was. I understand kind of like why they're doing those things a lot better these days. Like. Why would you like want to have dash cancels everywhere? You're like having something to kind of like break up the rhythm of the combos to make it feel like you're putting little tricky bits in the middle of like this kind of like linking one button into the other. Like, I don't really like it. I don't think it's a very good way of doing that. But I understand why it's there. And KOF is like it's a very interesting language, It's like its own distinct music, right?
Yeah. It feels equivalent to like distinguishing between different music genres or subgenres, styles within genre, or language and its musicality. For me, obviously, the language of martial arts resonates, right? Like there are some games that are going to feel more like Kung Fu and other games that are going to feel more like karate or boxing or MMA or whatever. Like I generally think of Guilty Gear as the mixed martial arts of fighting games. Because the thing that characterizes mixed martial arts is there is immense variety. There's too many things to get good at. So not everyone can get really, really good at all of them. And so it's about preparing a style that is able that is intended, like you're building one character, right? And you only get so much time, so many resources to train, so many skill sets. You have to make decisions in your training. And so you have to prepare for the incredible variety of humanity, right? What are all of the things that another human could get good at to whoop my ass? And how do I learn how to deal with those while also, spending some points on offense and making sure I can do that shit too? It's really fascinating to me. But the consequence of this style of game is that sometimes you'll have really lopsided matchups, or you won't be able to play the game. Like in boxing, any asshole can throw a punch with their right or left hands as long as they have right or left hands. That doesn't mean you're going to be good at it, but you instantly have access to all the moves in the game, right? And how you combine those moves is very different than in something like MMA. The games that I love are the ones where you get to see this wide range of humanity, show you all the things they worked on, but also all the things that they didn't work on, right? Because you always have to make decisions on what you're training on. One of the things that I love about playing high-level Guilty Gear players is I can tell that they're not all good at the same set of things, right? You play them and then you get an idea of, oh, this is the thing that you're really good at that someone else who's at your competitive level is not good at because they spent their points on this other thing, right? Exactly. Like Sky saying in chat, your style is not just all the things that you work on, it's all the things you didn't work on, right? With art, it's like, it's not just the things you got good at or the things you like to do, it's also all the things you don't like to do.
It's true.
No, it's really cool to think of that sort of like that specialization, your interest becoming like, once you reach a level where your interest becomes like what's distinct about you and not just like kind of like where scrubbiness is. But
yeah,
it is so funny how those like preferences can really lead you down deep paths, you know? It's like your character choice, like I want to play this game, I don't want to play this other game.
Yeah.
I want to do like so how do I get good at playing this game and then making other people play the game that I think I'm really good at?
Yeah. I had a good conversation with Hype for Sliced Bread a while ago. I think this actually might have been on stream. It was either on stream or it was when I was in his stream chat. But we were talking about how like, actually, I think it was after he showed up on stream for the Rev 2 review, because we were talking about how the advice that he gave me in that session was basically, you have to play the biking game, right? Like he was describing these branching options and be like, oh, your problem is that you need to do this here, not this. And I'm like, I understand this. As a chip player, that is the kind of game I'm not trying to play, right? Like none of that shit is even on my mind. People want to know why chip players have bad bursts. It's because the thought of get hit and wait long enough to see if this is a good opportunity to burst or not never enters our brain, because we're so used to thinking, shit, I got hit, I got burst, let me get the fuck out of here. It's too expensive, right? And so everyone in Guilty Gear is playing a different game and trying to assert their game on the game of someone else who probably doesn't want to play that game, right? And that's why everyone hates the mirror, is because they realize they don't want to play they don't want to deal with their own characters.
You don't play your game either.
Yeah. When I look at Daemendo practice, I'm always amazed. Brett actually does a lot of training mode sequences and stuff too, but Peter will sit down and lab like literally anything. But it's always labbing like, hey, what's the best thing that I can get after like I being this specific move in this specific string, or what, if I'm faced with a mix up, what are the timings and all the different options? Like he makes sure to go through and actually understand how the game works in terms of like what you should do at any given moment in an opponent's Gatling table, right? And what are all the branching options, so he can pay attention to whether they're rotating at every possible encounter or whatever, right? And I'm like, that is not the kind of game that I want to play, so I do very little of that, and it shows, right? The thing is that with Chip, the rewards for learning how to defend are a little bit different, because yeah, if I defend well, then I'm rewarded. I don't lose that much health, but I only get two tries to mess up right before I die. So basically, the expected value is like, if I'm just randomly guessing on defense, right? And this is actually what I used to do because I didn't want to learn how to block, is I would just say, you know what? I'm going to make sure that every time I'm blocking and I have 50 meter, I'm just going to dead angle, right? Because I don't want to learn how to deal with this bullshit. And if I'm confident that I can do damage in that I can win neutral more often, right? If I feel like 50 meters better spent as basically a quote extra life than it is for like a combo extension or something, then I'm just going to do that instead because I don't want to learn how to defend, right? And it wasn't until I had more things that I wanted to spend meter on where it's like, fuck, I don't want to spend meter on dead angle. Sometimes they bait that shit and then I die. So I guess I'm going to have to learn how to block, you know? And that was actually like years later. Right. I'm still not spending that much time, learning how to block, but I'm better at blocking now than I was 3 years ago or whatever. This at this point, it's been a tangent of a tangent of a tangent. I got dinner waiting. I don't want to keep you. But you got any parting thoughts you want to leave us with before we call it for the night?
No, I'm just kind of like lost in my head now, thinking about all of the interesting implications of like, what you've been talking about for like the games people want to play. I was thinking about, oh, that makes sense for a Slayer player because it's like, oh, I get to do big damage whenever I catch someone slipping. Of course, I want to like find every way I can catch somebody.
Exactly. Right. And for me, the game that I like to play is I want to be where you don't want me to be. Right. I want to be like, I'm about moving shapes around on a screen until my red boxes collide with your green boxes or blue boxes, whatever the fuck they are. Right. I think they're usually blue. So like that is the game that I'm playing. It's why I feel a kinship with melee players because they're also mostly playing that game. Right. Especially like a Fox or a Marth or something like that. It's all about arcs and like movement over time and geometry. Right. I would be more of a melee player than I would be a Tekken player because Tekken is very little of that spatial reasoning and it's more about the risk reward in terms of like choice matrices, right? Anyway, we'll chill here. Thank you so much for coming through, AV. I don't know what you want to do next week, but if you want to do more of this, I'm down. If you want to play something else, I'm down. Mauve says we should all just play Immaterial and Missing Power. I see you, Mauve. One day we'll pick that game back up. It was a ton of fun.
We should play Immaterial and Missing Power. Yeah. Mauve, I actually had Jamie who plays Toho Thursdays. She plays the Toho games every Thursday. She and some friends were messing around with Immaterial and Missing Power because she's been playing every Toho game.
Hell yeah.
So you might like to know.
All right.
Made me think about picking it up again. But yeah, I don't have anything else to plug.
Except Neon White, because the demo just dropped. I saw that shit.
That's right. Wait. Yeah, you should play. Never mind. Yeah, actually, you should play the Neon White demo.
Yeah.
Probably pre-order the Skullgirls season pass.
There we go.
Black Dahlia is gonna be pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
I can. I'm doing a lot of work to make her seem cool. So enjoy that when it drops, and also play the Neon White demo because it's really good.
Hell yeah! Maybe we should do that on stream one of these days.
Oh my goodness!
When does the game come out?
Mentally prepared. I couldn't tell you even if I knew.
Okay.
But I think soon. Ben said this winter at one point.
Okay.
And y'all probably know more than me because I don't check the team I had left the team a while ago, so I only get sporadic updates on what's happening. Yeah, for
sure. All right. Well, also check out We Know the Devil, Heaven Will Be Mine, all that shit. AV does good work. And we'll see y'all next week. Until then, y'all know what it is, baby. Love your life, be good to one another, and play some motherfucking KOF. You can just do the combo trials. It's fine. Peace out. Mwah.
Bye-bye.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。